Pierre, what makes product management and especially product design different today compared with a few years ago, and how does it differ to the future we're starting? So the question for you today, Pierre, is how do you do product management now?
Okay, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's something like I've been thinking about and experiencing quite a bit. It seems to be like there are quite a few things that have changed in the last couple of years. You know, the industry is moving so fast that I guess every year or every, not even year, like every month, there is something new to learn and to discover. And, you know, the market also shifts very fast. And yeah, we need to adapt as well. I mean, when I think about like where I was or how was my design process, a few years ago, I would say back then, you know, we were still thinking in terms of interfaces. Even the design titles changed a lot over the years. You know, we started with web designer, UI designer, then UI UX designer, product designer, and then we are probably moving towards experience designer and so on and so forth. I guess this is also because user needs have changed, the market has changed. So, if you look at the average user, they go around with multiple devices, connected devices, IoT, voice interfaces, tablets, phones. It's not anymore just, you know, product website or apps, and that's why I think experiences are much more important. We need to think also as designers in terms of how we design and create these experiences, and also like seamless experiences, because as user move towards or within ecosystems, I guess we need to figure out how have this sort of seamless experiences. I don't know, you might wanna start interacting with an assistant at home, then move to your car, continue that interaction without any break. And the same could go with, I don't know, when you're listening to your podcast, for example, you might want to jump on your bike, put on your headphones and keep listening where you left when you were in the previous environment. So this is definitely like an aspect that require much more attention from designers. And then, of course, there is the sort of AI bit that also changed quite a few. There was created quite a few shifts. One example, one example I can give, for instance, is we have a few areas where now, you know, AI is almost like integrated, like as a must-have. You know, it's almost the state of the art. The audience, the users, almost expect in different products to have AI. But sometimes
meaning to deal with natural language, or what do they expect?
Yeah, exactly. Specific like AI interfaces. I don't know if I'm thinking about. It depends, I guess, on the context. But let's say B2B, B2C could be different. But I think about user dealing with a lot of data, like some sort of helper through or AI assistant dealing with this data. It's become quite common now, right?
And in your opinion, it's a new expectation in terms of behavior. It's a new expectation from the user himself.
I think it's changing. It's changing how user expect specific services. But of course, like, you know, the offer needs to be bundled always to user need, right? I think sometimes like companies still are kind of tied to old mental models in a way. You know, they just add AI for the sake of adding AI, and I think this doesn't bring much value, or as much value as it could bring.
Pierre, you're design lead at Snap Mobile. You work for the German Mittelstand through your customer Tacto. a scale up from Munich. How do you see the ability and speed of this Mittelstand, of these industrial companies to change their behavior using AI powered tools? Because they used to to use ChatGPT even on a personal matter for personal matters. So they do expect this. That's what you described. They're creating new habits, like you described with the seamless experience through different devices. They have this seamless experience with other tools, other apps. They have this new experience with AI, and that's what they do expect for every tool, even in the B2B, manufacturing B2B.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I guess the if you're dealing like with complex data, like in the procurement system, you want to get to your goals as fast as possible, become more efficient, just because you want to get ahead of the competition as well. AI is very good at leveraging, surfacing complex data, helping in these tasks. But of course, like one key aspect is the context, right? So sometimes we always think about AI in terms of this kind of chain between prompt answer. But I think thinking in terms of proactive AI, for instance, this is like where the real value is hidden. And if you are starting your day, you have like a specific task in mind. You enter the interface, and the AI in that case can really be helpful and already provides you with the information you are looking for without even
agentic AI. Agentic AI
exactly.
based on data and retrieval to help you more. In this matter, when we look at the way teams work internally, did it change, or will it change the role of a product designer? Because today with Gen AI, a lot of product managers can solve a lot of issues, can even test and ship prototypes like in the same sprint, in the same hour already. So what's the new role of a product designer and of a product lead in your opinion?
I mean, that's true, actually. I've seen a lot like sort of the lines of the different functions fading a little bit. So now we have product managers experimenting with prototypes. You have designers starting to experiment with no-code tools and ship like functional MVPs and so on. And the same for engineering. Sometimes they come to us or to the designers and with already like a sort of maybe basic interface or prototypes just to explain better maybe what they had in mind. And I think this is really powerful. And I think it's actually helping a lot also like the interaction between these different functions on one side. On the other side, it's also true that this has brought to an increasing speed in terms of product design and product development. But I think there is also still like this gap between testing idea, creating quick prototypes, something that before it would have taken maybe a few days for a designer with maybe a couple of hours. You can create something really valuable that you can test with real users. And then, of course, like you can generate and test multiple ideas much faster. And then only when you have the validation in place, then you can go and invest into the development. And then from going to that prototype to the real to the real implementation to production, then the way is still longer. Maybe in the future, like also the difference between what is a prototype and what is production will the difference will become like less and smaller. There are still like a lot of things that you need to account for, and I guess there is still a long way to go until we reach that point.
We could go way deeper and we'll speak about it in a dedicated session around. And we could speak about product taste, for instance, which is a big difference between the skill set of a designer and the skill set of a product manager or of a developer. But I wanted to just address a last topic with you, which is accessibility. With the new European Accessibility Act, new standards are needed. How easy is it to implement this new standard and accessibility in a roadmap? Do you fight for it as a product lead, as a design lead, to have it in a roadmap which is already full?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's always, sometimes it's true. It feels like accessibility always is a little bit like the forgotten piece of during the software implementation. And it doesn't have to be like that. I think, it's true. There are like different stages of a product maturities. I've been working with startups where, you have to move fast and accessibility is probably not their highest priority. With a bit more mature products, it's easier to convey that message of bringing more accessibility. But I think nowadays, like if we talk about, for instance, leveraging again AI and existing patterns that are already out there, we have ways of connecting and doing checks, automatic checks on the design system. I think it should be much easier to implement accessibility checks. We have better ways to connect the design system on design side and the code environment. We have MCP servers. But of course, I think the role of designer is still the one to be the sort of user advocates in this case, and really push for those changes, even if they require the extra mile of a little bit more effort on the implementation side. But yeah, with the progress in better connection between design and the environment, I think most of these use cases should become almost out of the box in the future. So it should be a must, not a nice to have.
I agree on that one. I plus one, being an advocate and not only pushing a new rule, a new law or compliance. It's all about being convinced and having it in your DNA and pushing it through the new standards. Pierre, thanks a lot for your time today. And again, it's a topic we could speak hours about, and I'm sure it will be a fascinating session when we speak a bit longer about design with all the leaders. Thank you for your time, and I wish you well.
Thanks, Julien. Thanks, Julien, for having me.